All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to G.W.R. Gonzo's Wrestling Room. Recording another episode for this Sunday. Drops at 9 a.m. in the morning. Want to appreciate everybody that watched the last episode. I think that was our most watched GWR episode so far.
Cool.
So we appreciate that a lot. But joined by Tony Gonzalez as always. How you doing tonight, Dad?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Been a pretty good week of wrestling. I haven't seen all of AEW yet. Seen bits and pieces. I really enjoyed watching Monday Night Raw. I thought Raw was well put together this week.
I do too.
So where do you want to start at? We'll kind of start with that, and I wanted
Yep.
to talk a little bit about MJF and some of that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I got some stuff. Yeah, we'll start with Raw. I agree with you. I thought it was a real good episode. Started off with Cody Rhodes coming out and dressing the Raw universe. Especially coming out of that pay per view, which we'll touch a little bit on the pay per view on the back end here. But he's got that tour pack, and he wrestled anyway at the pay per view. He came out and addressed the Raw universe and was cutting a promo, and I thought it was real well put together. I don't even know if you call it a promo. He was just basically addressing, the fans and how he felt, even kind of emotional. Then Seth Rollins came out and uh, shook, told Cody that that Dusty would be proud of him and shook his hand and everything, and pretty well drew the crowd in and went to the back. Well, then Cody basically ended it there and started to go to the back, and then here come Seth Rollins when his back was turned, almost going off the stage there. That Seth Rollins attacked Cody with a sledgehammer. I thought it was a real good segment. I really liked it. I thought I think they're doing great with Cody. I think it's sad that he got hurt. I don't know what their plans are. During the promo, he addressed that he was going to try to be at Money in the Bank. I know he just had surgery, I think yesterday. I don't see any way. I mean, I don't. I guess if there's a way he can do it, they'll come up with it for him to win Money in the Bank. I think that was the original plan.
I think
But
I
we'll
think
see.
I think somehow he's still going to win. I haven't figured out how they're going to do it, but I really do. I told you that the other day. I really believe that somehow he's going to end up with that briefcase.
They could do it, or they're either going to do that, or if they think that's too risky, or come up with a different plan, they may just wait for him in the Royal Rumble. But I definitely think he's hot right now. It really sucks for him because he's worked his butt off to get where he's at, but things happen. But yeah, I thought it was a good segment. And then the next segment, it'd been panned pretty hard, but I didn't have a problem with it. It was Becky Lynch, and she was heck, I don't even remember who the match was going to be because the way it went. But here comes the 24/7 champion being chased, and so
Yep.
she ends up challenging Dana Brooke and won a shot at the 24/7 championship, which people are mad about. Well, why are you putting her in that? I think what they're trying to do is a story where she's having a down. She's not. I don't think she's going to be in the championship picture right at the moment. So they need a story, and I think the story may be that she's going to have a downward spiral. She went up against Dana Brooke, and Dana Brooke got the pin with the help of Asuka distracting and helping out, distracting Becky Lynch, and also I think held her foot even for Dana
Yep.
Brooke to get the victory. So I think that's the way they're going, the direction they're going. So I mean, I think people pan stuff too soon. Let's see what happens.
I didn't think it was that bad. I don't know why.
Yeah, give things a chance. And the next came out was Riddle, and he was on the Mrs. show,
That was
and
funny.
yeah, Riddle's outstanding. He's getting a good push right now. I think he's going to be featured a lot. Uh, he's getting a major push. He ended up wrestling the Miz and defeating the Miz, and I thought it was a good segment. Next was the Street Profits, who had a match against the Usos. If they won the match, they got a title shot. Well, they end up winning the match by count out, so they're going to get a future title shot. I don't know when that's going to be yet. It may be on Friday Night SmackDown. It may be on next week, or it could end up being at Money to Bank. But they're giving. It looks like the Profits are going to be the next to get a little bit of a push against the Usos. I don't see the Usos losing right now. I think they're too important to the story and the bloodline and everything right now. So I can't see them losing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree.
the next segment was a very interesting one. It's been talked about a lot. I think a lot of people didn't like it because they didn't see it coming. All these smart people want to know. Well, I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. Well, this segment here where Finn Balor came out and joined the Judgment Day. I don't think that was a huge shock. I think some people thought that might happen. But what happened next, that I know nobody expected, that Finn Balor and the rest of Judgment Day turned on Edge and beat the heck out of Edge and did a concerto on him and left Edge laying in the ring. Nobody's seen that coming. I think that's why some people hated it, because they didn't see it coming. I like the segment. I think they needed another babyface since Cody's going to be out. I think Edge. And then I've also heard some stories that, reading here recently, the last couple of days, the Edge didn't like where they was going with the Judgment Day. They're wanting to go maybe a little bit more, what would you say? More in the lines of Bray Wyatt. I'm not saying the Brennan Bray Wyatt, but more of the mysterious stuff and stuff like that. And I don't. That's the direction he wanted to go. So if that's true, maybe he wanted out and they decided to go that way. Or I definitely think Edge being a babyface will help the company, considering the situation they're in. I like the segment. Didn't see it coming. I was shocked, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I really enjoyed the segment. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was thinking, okay, this is a good move putting Balor in there in this group, and you know what I mean.
And I never thought that they was going to turn on Edge. That was the last thing I thought. Next we had, excuse me. Next we had Ezekiel, and Ezekiel was out there, had a match with Otis, and he got the victory on Otis. And then he challenged Kevin Owens. He wants another match, and so Kevin Owens is going to give him another match. And I like the segment. Kevin Owens is gold. I think the crowd's behind Ezekiel. I think that's one of the newer programs that they've trying to build up some of the undercard. I think Ezekiel's doing good.
Kevin Owens told him that he had to admit that he was Elias.
Yep.
So he admitted he was Elias. That he told Kevin Owens he lied.
I just took a page out of your playbook, Kevin Owens. You're a liar, so I lied to you. So that was pretty good. And then the main event, which I really liked, it was a 4 women's title. Well, 4 women's match for a shot at the title, fatal 4-way. Featured G.W.R, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Alexis Bliss. I really liked the match, and I wasn't shocked. I think, I thought they would go with Rhea Ripley with the victory, and she got the victory. But I thought it was a real solid match. I really enjoyed it. All four women got their spots. I thought they were all performed real well. Personally, I think they should push Ripley, and I think she should get the belt. If they want the Judgment Day to move up and be strong, I think that's the direction they should go. But I like that match. What'd you think of that match?
Oh, I liked it too. I think the same thing. I think they're gonna have Ripley end up winning the belt off of Belair, probably at that Money in the Bank. Yeah,
I like the pacing of Raw, the way it was put together. It wasn't a real. I mean, none of the matches were bad, but it wasn't one of their strongest wrestling shows. But I think the stories they were telling were pretty good, and I thought the segments were good. I really liked Raw this week. Next up, we have NXT, and they just came out of their pay-per-view this past Saturday, and which I thought was a pretty good pay-per-view. They opened the show with Solo Sikoa, and he's wanting his shot at the North American title, which Carmelo Hayes won at the pay-per-view. And he's out there talking to him, and Solo got attacked by Waller and Hayes both, and left him laying. And so that was pretty interesting, and also plays into what the main event ended up happening, which we'll get into that when we get to the main event. But I thought it was a pretty good match. Next up, had a real interesting match. I really enjoyed. One of the country boys, Briggs, took on Von Wagner. I was really kind of shocked that they've been pushing Von Wagner, but they give Briggs the victory. I like Briggs a lot. I think he's a big dude. I think he moves well. I think he's a really good wrestler. I think it's somebody that I think could get pushed in the future. I really like him, which I liked him when he was on the independent scene. He wrestled a lot with Theory. Came from the same company and stuff. So I like Briggs a lot. I thought that was a real strong match. Next matchup, we had an upset. Nathan Frazier, who come over from the UK, NXT UK, been performing really well. He had a match against Santos Escobar and got the win over Escobar because Escobar and his crew had to join in with the Italian crew, the kind of mob crew, and they were trying to distract Frazier and end up distracting Escobar, and Escobar ended up getting beat. So I thought that was interesting, and it's going to keep that feud going. Next, we have Braun Breaker coming out and saying that he won his match at the pay-per-view, and he's ready for his next challenge. And to the shock of many, nobody's seen this coming. Apollo Crews came back to NXT and said that he'd be around and going to work his way up, and he wants to challenge Braun Breaker. And he didn't have an accent or anything. He was his normal self. Crowd went crazy for him. And I heard that he's actually been, his name's down on the NXT roster. It's not, I don't think it's on the Raw roster, so maybe it's a permanent move. I don't know. Next up, we had the women's breakout tournament final match, and it was Roxanne Perez against Tiffany Stratton. Roxanne Perez is going to be a big star. She's young. I think they see a lot in her. They're pushing her fast. And Tiffany Stratton is one that 4 or 5 months ago, she was a gymnast and stuff. She came in, she looked okay, but she has been working her butt off. She's looking fantastic. But Roxanne Perez got the victory over Stratton. It was a real strong match. And then in the main event was a really good, really strong match. Had Solo Sikoa and Apollo Crews against Grayson Waller and Carmelo Hayes. Sikoa and Crews got the victory, but it was a really good match. One of the better matches of the week that I've seen. It was really strong, a lot of fun. It was really good. NXT was good this week. A pretty good show. And then we'll go to AEW. AEW's been going through quite a bit lately with CM Punk getting hurt and something they didn't expect. So they come up with the idea of a kind of a 4-person tournament, 2 wrestling in Japan and 2 people. Well, first they opened with a casino battle royal to open up the show, and the winner of that got to wrestle their number 1 contender, which they deemed was Jon Moxley. And at the end of the night, on Wednesday night, they got to wrestle him. And if they won, then they'll go at the next pay-per-view against the winner of the Japan to see who the new champion for AEW is going to be. A little bit of a surprise. Kyle O'Reilly got the victory. I mean, O'Reilly's a really good wrestler. They didn't feature a lot of their big-name wrestlers. You know, a lot of the big
O'Reilly
names
got the victory in what? The Battle Royal or the
in the Battle
okay.
Royal.
Okay.
He got the victory in the Battle Royal and went on to wrestle Moxley in the main event. I'll cover that here in just a minute. But it was Battle Royal was okay. It was so-so. O'Reilly's a great wrestler, so I'm never going to argue that. But they didn't put a lot of their big names. Wardlow wasn't in it, and we'll get into that. The promo that Wardlow cut didn't make any sense, but it kind of made, in my opinion, made the Casino Battle Royal look worthless. But we'll get to that. Next matchup was a really strong match. It was Pac against Buddy Matthews. It was a tournament match. They're having another belt, and they're adding. It's going to be called the All Atlantic Championship. So I think they're trying to make it like their Intercontinental Championship, what they're trying to do. And it's a This was a match to move to the next round. And Pac defeated Buddy Matthews. It was a good match. It was a strong match because both those guys can go. Then we had Hangman Page taking on David Finlay. David Finlay is you probably remember Fit Finlay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's his son. And it was a pretty good match. A lot of people don't know who Finlay is. He wrestled most of the time. He's been in Impact some, but mostly in Japan, where he's wrestled most of his matches. It was a decent match. And then a big thing for the internet fans. After that match, Will Ospreay. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's really big in Japan. He's from Australia. He's a big name in Japan. Really good wrestler. I mean, he's as good as probably as good as Omega, Seth Rollins, that type of guy. He can go, but a lot of people just don't know him. A lot of the crowd in Chicago, I don't think knew who he was. Of course, the internet fans went crazy, but Ospreay came out with he's got a faction, and they came out and attacked a little bit. It was an okay segment. And then from there, we had Thunder Rosa defending her women's title against Maria Shafar. G.W.R has basically been on AEW TV on twice on the regular TV. She's on the dark stuff. She goes undefeated on the dark stuff. She's got a 17-1 record. She's wrestled on AEW twice and got beat both times. So I don't understand that. Then we come to the Wardlow promo, where he didn't want to be in the Battle Royal. He didn't want to be an interim champion because that was a joke of a championship. He wants the real thing. He'll wait for CM Punk to come back, and he wants to be CM Punk. Now, does that promo make any sense to you?
No.
That your interim thing was a joke?
Yeah. It didn't make no sense.
That don't make any sense to me. Some people may have liked it, but I didn't care for it. And I think really the last 2 weeks since the pay-per-view, I think what they've done with Wardlow's fell flat. So hopefully they'll get stronger with that, because I thought he had a lot of momentum coming. That seems to be dying down to me. Then we had Moxley and O'Reilly in the main event. Both them guys can go. Really, really good match. Moxley got the victory, which I don't think it was any shock. It was weird because they made Moxley the number one contender, but if you look at the rankings is a joke. You know who the number one contender is? Wardlow. He wasn't even a thing. But the other thing about that is, Chris, that Wardlow was the number one contender. Wardlow was the number one contender, but never had a match. None of his matches supposedly counted in AEW because he went under contract with AEW. He was under contract with MJF. So how could he be a number one contender? He didn't sign his contract till after he beat MJF. So the story didn't make any sense. Show was pretty decent. I mean, it was a decent show. I liked the pacing of the show. It was decent. My show of the week this week out of those 3 shows was Monday Night Raw. I really liked Raw a lot. Not that either one of them 3 shows were bad, but I just preferred Raw. I liked the way that it was set up. I just thought it was a good show. I thought it was entertaining.
They had Moxley beat O'Reilly, right?
Yep.
How much sense does that make? Because to me, you're already telling everybody who the interim champion is going to be. Because you're going to have Moxley going against somebody from Japan that most of your crowd might not know.
Yeah.
So to me, it's too predictable. It's like you already know Moxley's going to be the interim champ. So it's kind of, I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, they could pull the trigger and let the guy from Japan have it, but I don't see.
What good does that do you?
I mean,
because you get a lot of your fan base isn't going to know who he is.
This their main. I mean, they're mainstream guys. They're mainstream fans, but casual fans and some not casual fans. There's some people watch AEW just because they don't like WWE, but there's some of them that don't know anything about Japan. I know a little bit about New Japan. I'm going to watch the pay-per-view Forbidden Door, because I think it'll be a really, really entertaining pay-per-view, because there's going to be a lot of good wrestling matches on it.
I'll watch. It just, you know what I mean? To me, that didn't make a lot of sense, though.
No, honestly, Chris, they're still talking about Punk's going to be out 12 weeks. Why doesn't it crown a new champion and be done with it? And then when he comes back, let him build his way back up and get the belt.
Yeah.
Tony Khan didn't want to do that. CM Punk said that Tony Khan would not hear of it. That he wanted him to still be the champion, and then he'll wrestle the interim as soon as he comes back.
I think the pay-per-view will be decent, because you said there's a lot of good wrestlers on it, but I just don't. The storyline just don't match up to me.
But yeah, this pay-per-view is not going to be a big storyline pay-per-view, and it's going to be just about matches. A lot of people, it's going to be these fantasy matches, like the internet crowd. But I think it'll be a strong wrestling pay-per-view, and I'm not against doing something different. I mean, that's something that they're offering, that's something WWE.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't know if it's going to draw in a bunch of new fans, but I guess give it a shot and see how it works. I'm sure it'd be entertaining.
I think what it drew, I don't know. I just think the casual fan. Well, I don't know either. That ain't. I don't know. I think I would have rather had O'Reilly, because he's a young, up and coming younger guy, or Cole, somebody like that, in that instead of Moxley.
Well, Cole's hurt right now.
Okay,
So
well, that's true.
Cole's banged up. Daniel Bryan's banged up. Or Brian Danielson, excuse me. He's banged up. Um, they've had a lot of
That,
injuries.
that, that's true.
Their injury bug has hurt them too. So okay, the next thing I want to talk about real quick was Cody Rhodes. I want to allude to him go back to that. What he did this last weekend, wrestling without torn pec was unbelievable. He did show incredible heart. I mean, a lot of people probably wouldn't have done it. I've heard a lot of doctors talk about that he could not have injured himself anymore. Some people try to drag WWE. Well, that's terrible. They let him wrestle that way, and he could have permanently hurt himself. They said that there was no way he could have really damaged himself anymore. The match was well put together. He couldn't have been in the ring with a better guy that understood the circumstances. They put on a fantastic, both guys, not just Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, both did an incredible job. It's going to be up for match of the year candidate, and it wasn't because it was extremely violent. It was because the match was put together very well and told a fantastic story, and that's what it should be. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how good the match. I'm sure some of those elements would have still been in there, like bringing out the bull rope, and because a tribute to Dusty Rhodes, back the way because he used it so much. I think that still would have been in there, but I think you would have seen a lot bigger moves, maybe a little bit more violence. But under the circumstances, they couldn't take those chances. But the match was incredible. I mean, it was really good, and Cody and the people that helped put that match together, which I'm sure Cody and Seth had a lot to do with that, and probably some of the producers deserve a lot of credit for being able to put it together such a good match under the circumstances. And overall, the show was a real good, real strong show too. I thought it was a real good show.
I enjoyed Hell in a Cell. I thought it was a real good show. And I agree with everything you said about Cody. I mean, when he took his jacket off, the crowd just it just got quiet. It was crazy.
And it was that way for 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, they didn't know what to do, and then every time he took a punch or took a punch there or something, they didn't know what to didn't know how to react. They felt bad for him.
And then Seth Rollins coming out in the polka dots was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. Then they got that belt out. I mean, it was. I mean, it was just. It was cool. It was set up. It was set up almost perfectly. I really enjoyed it. But and Seth Rollins needs to get his credit too because he done a hell of a job making sure keeping him safe and making sure that he wasn't gonna get injured more.
Well, Seth Rollins don't get enough credit, Chris. He's one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
His name should be up there as one of the
Oh,
guys.
he's a great heel. Oh my goodness, he's a great heel.
Yep. Yep. Oh, no doubt. And then the next one, talk a little bit about the CM Punk injury. It sucks for him too. He gets the belt, and then there's been a couple different reports that he got hurt during that match on Wednesday night after the pay-per-view during the 3-man. There was even even a guy from Wrestling Inc., one of the sites I go to a lot and I trust. It's a pretty good site, and they investigate stuff quite a bit before they put it out there. But the guy that runs it, he watched the Wednesday night show and said he watched Punk come out, was walking normal, jumped into the crowd, and then when he come back out of the crowd, he was limping. He thinks Punk hurt himself then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Of course, they're not going to say that if he did. They say
No.
he hurt himself during the match, but it sucks for Punk. I mean, a lot of people are going back and forth who should be champion. They shouldn't have took it off Hangman. I don't think Hangman moved the needle like they wanted him to. I don't think it's necessarily his fault. I think it's made more that they're. I don't think as long as they go way they're booking the shows and not making it more fan friendly for the casual fans, I don't think they're going to grow. They've got their 900,000, 800 to a million, and I don't think it's going to ever grow to 1,400,000, 1,500,000, unless they catch lightning in the bottle. I thought Wardlow might be, Punk might have been, having that name that there's people out there that's not wrestling fans know who CM Punk is.
Yep.
And that might have helped. I don't know. It just kind of, they're kind of caught like the WWE was. You have plans. If booking's done right, you're supposed to have and Bully Ray always said WWE book backwards. You're supposed to book backwards. You're supposed to book 6 months from now. backwards. This is how you're supposed to do. He said WWE don't do that much, but the proper way you should have a plan. WWE, they say Vince McMahon, he'll tear up a script an hour before the show, and then okay, we're changing everything. But I'm sure it messed up their plans there and AEW, and it sucks for Punk. But I think Punk's name and his storytelling ability could help the company. His in-ring work is not what it was. Not that it's horrible, but he's definitely lost a step compared to what it was, no doubt. And I don't think you can say that like Edge. I don't think Edge lost a step.
I don't either.
But them are the main two things. I know you said you want to talk a little bit about MJF.
Yeah, what'd you think about that promo?
I thought the MJF promo was fantastic. I really liked it. I thought it had a really great intensity. Had a lot of fans wondering if it was real. Of course, it wasn't real. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he don't feel that way to a lot of degree. I mean, there's some definite truth in that, but there's no way they're going to let him say all those things. They could pull the plug anytime they wanted. And now they're trying to. They've had TNT and the company come out and said they demanded that he be removed from all the commercials, and it's just part of the storyline. There's rumors that he's still out in LA and he's pursuing some acting stuff. So maybe he's going to be busy for a while, and his name's not going to be mentioned for a while, which I don't know if that's a good thing, because I think his name was really hot.
See, if you're going to do that, you shouldn't even have him come out and talk. You took him out on a stretcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was some things there that, you shouldn't. Yeah, he's going to be gone for a couple months.
You shouldn't have brought him back because you already took him out in a stretcher.
He's injured, and then then he could have come back and cut that promo. Yeah, I agree with you. The timing of it and everything. It was a fantastic promo, though. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah.
I like the promo a lot. I think, is he a super great wrestler? No. Is he average? Yeah, I think he's even a little above average. I think when he first started, I think he was maybe average or below, but he has gotten better. But the thing of it is, he knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to make the crowds feel something, good or bad. And I think, though, at least coming out of that promo, they was going to have to go with him as a good guy. Now, maybe that's why they took him off, because they don't want to be a good guy. Maybe I heard Mark Henry said that wasn't the original plan. So so I don't know. So
I'm interested to see where they go from here because of that. You know what I mean? That's going to have to probably change their plans.
Now, another interesting thing that Mark Henry said today, he claims he has no knowledge, but I think he does. He claims that he believes the Rampage, the Friday night show, is going to go from an hour to 2 hours. But, and I'm not saying that's a bad move, but to come on at 10 o'clock now, you're going to go from 10 to midnight. I still don't think on a Friday night, that's a good time. And are you going to start the show at 9 and go 9 to 11 and go an hour head to head with SmackDown? I don't think that's a good move.
Yeah. You'd be better off to go for 10 to 12, I would say.
I think that's terrible timing too. I think they'd be better off to go on the old Saturday nights from 6 to 8 like it was back in the day.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I could see that too.
I think it'd be a better move. I think people would watch it on Saturday, watch it from 6 to 8, and then you still got plenty of time to go out on Saturday nights.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, see how that goes. That's pretty much all I had. Is there anything else?
Well, we got a big independent wrestling show. Well, that'll be tomorrow. So by the time you guys see this, it'll be over. But go to it's AACW. They put on some good old school wrestling. Go check them out. You can check if you hear about it on this video. Go to our Facebook page, YouTube page. You'll be able to find it. We're going to be streaming it live. Should be a great show. We have a big interview Sunday evening. So the evening that this comes out, we have Rachel Armstrong, women's pro wrestler. Been in the business for a little over a year. Has a lot of talent. Should be a good, real good interview. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, definitely.
We have wrestling the next 3 weekends. So I mean, You'll be seeing a lot of wrestling content coming out of the GSR channels. We've been doing well, three events that we're live streaming. Got one interview scheduled right now. Working on some others. So make sure you follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That way you don't miss any of the content that's coming out.
Yeah, next Saturday, people, it's a free show. It's the Juneteenth Festival at McCullough Park. The festival runs 3 to 9. If I remember correctly, they have free food from 3 to 5. Not exactly sure what time the wrestling show is going to be yet. Hopefully we'll have more information, Monday or Tuesday or soon. Maybe even this weekend we'll hear something, but hopefully we'll have the exact time that show's going to be. Again, absolutely 100% free. Bring your lawn chairs and watch a fantastic wrestling show. The show last year was awesome. The festival's an awesome festival. Go learn a lot about Juneteenth. Have a lot of educational stuff. Have a lot of games. Have entertainment. Like I said, free food. White last. I think if I remember again, you can go. They've got a Facebook page, Juneteenth. You could look up Muncie Juneteenth and get more information. But I believe the food's from 3 to 5.
Yeah, there's also a flyer on our social media pages as well.
But yeah,
about
that's going to be an awesome event. So definitely, even if you're not a wrestling fan, go check out the festival. So, but
and I'll share that flyer again, so it'll be up there at the top. But yeah, it's on our Facebook page as well. But I think that's about it for today. We'll see you guys next Sunday again. Don't forget, we're live tomorrow night, Kokomo, Indiana, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you can't make it to Kokomo, come join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. Big interview on Sunday. Then we'll be back to our normal weekly schedule on Monday with Easy Money, a sports betting show at 3 p.m. Eastern, and GSR Gonzo Sports Room at 11 p.m. Eastern. Follow us on social media. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Rate and review the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. Everybody have a great day, and we will talk to you guys later.